Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What a game for a Jimmy Butler debut for your Golden State Warriors as they were down 24 in that second half and clawed their way back. Not only clawed their way back, but absolutely demolished their path to a 21-point victory, a 45-point turnaround. And the first thing I can think of is Steph saying that we're not built to win games like this. We're not built for big comebacks and to come back from large deficits. Well, guess what? In the first game of Jimmy Butler's Warriors career, the Golden State Warriors come back down from 24 and flip the script into a 21-point victory. You're watching Warriors Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Tyler Smith. We'll get into Jimmy's stat line. We'll get into Steph's in just a moment. But overall, this game was an absolute roller coaster. After a back-and-forth first quarter, the Golden State Warriors saw themselves down 15-0 in the second quarter. Ended up being like 22-2, and it was looking pretty bleak for their offense. They couldn't get anything going. Buddy Hield was absolutely atrocious. Talk about him more later. But threes weren't falling. They were turning the ball over. It was just an overall ugly display of basketball. And then, about midway through the third quarter, Steph decided that it was time to stop playing around and make it happen. And he went off there. And then into the fourth quarter, where Golden State got a lead and started to build it some more, Jimmy Butler finally arrived for your Golden State Warriors. A 25-point debut for Jimmy Buckets. Are you kidding me? By the way, Jimmy Butler the third on the back of his jersey now, so we'll be calling him three-man for now on. But 7 of 12 from the field, and what doesn't show up on this score sheet right here is that he was 11 of 13 from the free throw line. Something that Golden State has not been able to do so far this season is get to the line. They're actually near the bottom of the league in free throws attempted per game, and Steve Kerr was loving the physicality of Jimmy getting to the line time after time after time. It would be an entry pass. It would be him getting downhill. He'd be getting positioning down a low block for a Draymond lob or a Quinten Post lob. And then he just went up strong and got to the line and hit 11 of 13. Like, there's just an element that this team did not have previously. And I'm so glad that they have kind of added some toughness to this roster. And no shade to Andrew Wiggins, but Jimmy Butler is just a level above, not only talent-wise, but physicality and toughness-wise too, man. Jimmy is going to be a welcome addition. He didn't shoot any threes. The one that he did shoot was kind of late in the shot clock, and I'm not going to ask him to do that if he's getting the line 13 times a game. If he's actually helping another area that Golden State has severely lacked so far this year, Jimmy was absolutely amazing tonight and really let the game come to him. Early on, he was very passive and wasn't looking to kind of take over or take anybody's spotlight away. But when his opportunities arose there in the fourth quarter, it was absolutely delightful. He was getting out on the fast break. He was throwing shots down. He was turning defense into offense. And on both ends tonight, Jimmy, he was diving on the floor. He was attacking loose balls. So don't tell me that Jimmy Butler is not locked in for the regular season right now, as Golden State needs every single win they can get with only 30 games to go. Jimmy was absolutely amazing. Grade his performance for me. Grade his Warriors debut. Jimmy Butler, now a member of your Golden State Warriors. Absolutely awesome performance. I'm going to give it an A. I'm going to give it an A performance. How could you not in Jimmy's Warriors debut? Let me know down in the comments section. Steph, though, was really who took this game over there in that third quarter. He said, I'm tired of this. Started hitting three after three after three. Heat checks, fallaways, didn't matter. Steph was awesome. And you know what? For the first half, he was kind of the only one of the only players keeping Golden State alive. Like, he didn't shoot a ton. He had six attempts there in that first half, and overall just did not contribute the volume that I was asking for when you had a guy like Buddy Hield having 11 attempts there in the first half. Jimmy and Steph combined for 12 field goals up in half number one. Meanwhile, Buddy Hield's got 11, and he was terrible on defense. Couldn't shoot the ball. Like, he was fine shooting the ball. I think he was like 3 of 8 at one point, but like he was just taking all the mojo away from Golden State. Like, yeah, Buddy had 14, 5, and 3. By the way, those 5 rebounds came in the first quarter. So after that, like, he was completely useless, completely obsolete, and he was just messing up the whole mojo of Golden State. They were bad when he was on the floor. For players who had more than 15 minutes played in this game, Buddy Hield had the lowest plus-minus on the team. He was not a part of the big comeback. He kind of was riding coattails and didn't really provide much for you on the offensive end after a pretty solid first half, but just taking too many shots. Like, I'm not here for Buddy Hield leading the team in field goal attempts after 24 minutes. Not having that at all. But back to Steph, though. I mean, oh my God, not back to Steph. Back to Quinten Post, baby. Oh my goodness, this guy was awesome. You know what? I want to talk more about Quinten Post in just a moment. But first, I got to give a major shout out to today's sponsor, and that is PrizePicks. PrizePicks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports platform with over 10 million active members, including yours truly, because it's so fun to watch your favorite sports and win real money in real time. I'm talking up to 1,000 times your money. And with PrizePicks, they're always trying to hook you up with incredible deals, like a free $50 in your account when you use our promo code CLNS after downloading the app and signing up, and then placing your first $5 entry. You might be asking me, Tyler, how do you even place an entry on PrizePicks? Don't worry, it's daily fantasy made easy. So just pick a lineup of 2 to 6 player stat projections and just pick more or less on them, and you can watch the real winnings roll in real time. And that's not the only deal they're hooking you up with at PrizePicks. It's like Taco Tuesday, where they discount stat projections every week, or Flex Friday, where every Friday, if you lose your lineup, they'll give you your entry back in promo funds. And when specialty events come around, like this one today, the big game, you better take advantage of them. Patrick Mahomes only needs to throw 1 passing yard? Yeah, sign me up. Because when you couple this with something else in the big game, or a basketball pick, or a hockey pick, or an esports pick, or a college pick of your choice, you're already halfway to winning 3 extra money on PrizePicks. So take advantage of that deal. And take advantage of our promo code, CLNS, to get $50 instantly when you place your first $5 entry. You don't even need to win to receive the $50. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks. Run your game. All that information will be clickable down in the comment section and description of today's video. Okay. QP. Quinten Post was lighting it up, and he's not afraid to let that thing fly. 4 of 7 from deep, 7 of 10 overall from the field. Had a couple nice push shots. And what really stuck out to me from his performance tonight, and what he is going to help him as a player who's going to start the 5 for Golden State, it seems like, moving forward, was the defense, man. On one of the best interior scorers in the NBA, best back-to-the-basket guys in the NBA, in Nikola Vucevic, who Golden State fans were looking to trade for, myself included. He locked him up, and he was altering other shots at the rim. He was it was an unbelievable performance. This is probably the best game I've seen Quinten Post play so far, because he was dominant on the defensive end, and he poured it in on offense as well. 18 points, 4 triples, and he was a really, really big part of that big Warriors run, the 45-point turnaround that they had in this ball game. I'm so excited to see where Quinten Post's game goes from here, because they're going to need a lot from him. With the lineup they're going to throw out there, with Jimmy added to the squad now, QP needs to be a floor spacer for this team, and somebody who can get up a lot of them. He put up 7 a night and made 4 of them. And if he can do that on a nightly basis, Golden State is going to be in a very, very good spot. Now, other players, let's shift towards like where I want Golden State to go moving forward, right? Because we talked about Buddy Hield earlier. I don't want to see Buddy very often anymore. Like, I know he can shoot the 3, and he hit 4 of 9 tonight, like great percentage, but like, I'm kind of cool without Buddy Hield shooting 13 shots on a nightly basis. Like, I'm kind of out on that. I want to see less Buddy. I want to see more Guy Santos, who was really good tonight. He was 3 for 3 from the field. 2 for 3 from the field. 1 of 2 from deep. Hit a big one during that run as well. And I can't believe I'm saying this. I need more pods. I think Jimmy Butler is going to get the most out of Brandon Podziemski right now, as a guy who makes his money and makes his position in this rotation based off of effort. Jimmy Butler is going to trickle down that effect to Podziemski and help him be a better overall player, because that's kind of the way that Podziemski plays. Maybe not in the sense of how Jimmy scores the basketball all of a ton, but just the way that he can affect the game in so many different ways. That's going to be huge for the development of pods, having Jimmy in town now, helping him kind of get better in so many different areas and helping him affect winning in so many different places. Today, 16, 5, and 7. He's been awesome over the past couple of games, and you know what? I'm starting to see the vision on pods. I'm not saying he's going to be an all-star level player like Joe Lacob thinks he's going to be, but at the end of the day, you don't need him to be. If he can come off the bench and be a leader of the second unit and someone who you're not afraid of when he has the ball in his hands, like as a fan of Golden State, maybe not you want the opposition to fear him, but as fans of Golden State, if you are okay with having Podziemski with the ball in his hands, then he's going to be a great player because he's a good decision maker. He's an accurate passer of the basketball, and when the shot's falling, that's an even bigger plus. He attacks the glass. He's first to loose balls, and that is just going to be an overall trickle-down effect throughout the rest of this roster, who, at the end of the day, does not have the most talent in the Western Conference, does not have the high-level players that some of these other Western Conference teams do. They just don't at the end of the day. And you know what they're going to need to win games on? They're going to win games on effort. And at the end of the day, you can get that done. And you can win playoff series by wanting it more than the other team and being the first to lose balls, being the ones who win those 50-50 plays. That's how this team's going to win. They're not going to win based off of high-end talent. They don't have enough. They got a new shiny new toy in Jimmy Butler, and I'm very excited to see where he goes. But at the end of the day, this team is going to win off of effort. And for me, that's cool because I want to see a team that give it 110% every single night as we have 30 games to go in the regular season. And hopefully, Golden State can find themselves in a position to not even be in the play-in, maybe even be in the 6th seed, and maybe have a first-round upset in the postseason. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel, youtube.com/WarriorsTV. This was great news for Golden State in Jimmy Butler's debut. Steph, Jimmy, they combined for 59, and if we can get that on a nightly basis, I mean, this team is going to go a long way. I'm very excited to see where it goes next. We will be live on the channel in a couple of days, tomorrow, for the Milwaukee Bucks game against one of the Eastern Conference's elite, against Giannis. Jimmy owns him. So let's have another baller performance here after a stellar debut for Mr. Jimmy Butler. 25 points, affected the game in so many different ways. I can't wait to see more of how he plays for your Dubs. So hit that sub button, lock us in as your #1 spot for Warriors content all season long. We'll see you in the next one. Let's go Dubs.